Hey everyone, it's Thuan again, and I'm so happy to meet you all in Thuan's podcast. I think at our age, both you and I are very interested in love. To be honest, I'm still quite young, so I have very little experience with it. Love is such an unpredictable thing. Everyone loves in their own way, with different personalities and choices. So, if we were to say there's a standard or a formula that applies to everyone and makes them all happy, it would be very difficult. I think if there were a universal formula for happiness, there wouldn't be so much suffering in this world. So, today's podcast will be based on my limited experiences in love, as well as things I've observed, learned, and read in books or watched in online videos. I sincerely hope it can be helpful to everyone. I guess today's podcast might be quite long because talking about love can go on forever, so I think I'll divide this episode into two parts. Let's start with part one now. Recently, I moved out to live on my own. I mentioned it in the previous podcast episode. Usually, it's fine, but when life has a change or a upheaval like moving, changing jobs, or a special event during those times, if I go through it alone, I feel quite sad. It's not that my life has some terrible problem that I want someone else to solve. It's simply that I wish I had someone to accompany me, to walk with me through the journeys of youth. The other day, I was talking to my friend Kai, and I told Kai, "Oh my God, I want a boyfriend." I just kept complaining, "Oh my God, I want a boyfriend, I want a boyfriend." Kai listened and then asked me, "Do you really think you're ready for a relationship?" And that just made me start thinking about it. Lately, I haven't been going to the office. I work freelance from home. With freelance work, you could say I'm both free and busy. It's really hard to distinguish between leisure time and busy time because any free moment I have, I just start working. Some weeks are incredibly busy, but then there are weeks where I have nothing to do and just eat and sit around. So my time isn't very proactive. It's quite reactive. I think if I had a boyfriend now, it would be quite difficult to arrange time for dating. I believe that love is different from other relationships. While you might not see friends for a few days, a week, or even a month, and it's fine if you're in a romantic relationship unless it's a long-distance one if you're physically close and don't see each other for a month. That's a real problem, a real SOS. A romantic relationship needs attachment, sharing, and a bit of commitment. I feel that if I were dating now, I would struggle to meet those needs, as my time is quite reactive. It's possible I'm free when my boyfriend is busy, or vice versa. I think I'm more suited to an on-off switch type of relationship, right now open when needed, closed when not. But that's not the kind of relationship I want. If I have a boyfriend, I want a serious relationship where both parties are committed and try to maintain it for as long as possible. Kai also told me, "I see you prioritizing your work right now," and it's true. I'm not a career woman type, not someone who's solely focused on a brilliant career. I think for young people like us, at different stages, we have different interests and priorities. Right now, I want to prioritize my work, so it's hard to make time for dating. The other day, I was scrolling on Facebook and saw a post saying girls always complain they want a boyfriend, but when someone courts them, they don't fall for it, they don't want to date them. Actually, let me explain the girls' dictionary for everyone to understand. When girls say they want a boyfriend, what we really want is to find a suitable person, someone we have a good feeling about, who also has a good feeling about us. Both sides will get to know each other, and if it's okay, then move into a relationship. It's not like saying, "I want a boyfriend," means we'll date anyone or everyone. It doesn't work that way. Dating requires getting to know someone, adapting, and finding the right person, doesn't it? I think to put it somewhat irresponsibly or broadly, there are two types of love. The first type is love at first sight. When you meet someone, you immediately like them, and you feel like you have asterisk to have them, you have asterisk to love them. You're completely smitten, utterly head over heels, in love at first sight. You instantly know you love this person, you can immediately define your feelings. That's the first type of love, like in the song, "I must have you, even just once in my life." Then I see a second type of love. With some people, through repeated interaction over time, you find their personality interesting, their character appealing, and they just fit with you. After each interaction, you like them a little more until you realize, okay, I like this person, I love this person, I want them to be my significant other. This is love that is built and grows over months and years until that initial liking transforms into love, and you see that person as special. You see their unique beauty and realize they are truly wonderful. They are something special, unlike anyone else on this planet. They are truly unique, truly amazing. I prefer this second type of love. I really love that stage leading up to confessing feelings, when both sides are getting to know each other. It's those afternoons spent by the lake, sitting together, watching the sunlight filter through the leaves, the gentle ripple of the water. It's a time when you can sit next to each other without needing to say anything at all, because you know anything said would be superfluous. It's simply about sitting together and feeling each moment. And in both hearts, something is sprouting. If you were to say, "I love you," at this moment, it would be too soon, more time is needed. But you know already, "I'm going to love this person." You know you won't fall into love instantly, but you'll slowly walk into it. And you know for sure this time there's no escape. This time, you've truly bumped into real love. Don't you agree that our lives are like a cycle? There are times when life is really good. Everything goes smoothly, everything is joyful. Then there are times when life is just average, drifting along. And there are times when life is just terrible, nothing goes right, everything falls apart, it feels like the whole world is against you. That's when I think we want a boyfriend the most. We feel like we need a companion, someone to share with more than ever. I see myself as quite strong, so not having a boyfriend is fine, I can still live well. But there are moments when I'm sad, when I feel weak, and I wish someone would come to me, hold me close, and comfort me, saying, it's okay, everything will be fine. There are times when life is full of upheaval, and I've wished that life would be gentler with me, treat me more kindly. And ever since that person appeared, I don't need to wish anymore. Someone like a radiant sun walked into my life. They showed me that I am a wonderful person, and they loved me in a wonderful way. Sometimes I'm not very satisfied with myself, but there's someone out there who sees me as truly wonderful and loves me in a wonderful way. That's when I feel the magic of love. I used to think I wasn't suited for a romantic lifestyle. I was childish, difficult to please, hard to open up, and had many prejudices about love. And then love came, unannounced, not to prove whether I was right or wrong. Love is just love. And this compassion, this sincerity, day by day, made me change the things I used to think. Before love, I set so many standards for the one, from family background, education, appearance, hobbies. And then love came, and all those standards became meaningless. Love has no measure that can truly assess it. Love is simply love. I think there are quite a few girls like me who, when we're single, have certain expectations for a future boyfriend. And perhaps when we're in a relationship, that boyfriend isn't quite what we expected. Of course, there will be sadness, arguments, making up, discussing things, reconciling, and then arguing again, many such cycles. And after all of that, I realized one thing. Love isn't about finding a perfect person to love, but about learning to find wonderful things in an imperfect person. They might not be perfect, and they might not love us exactly the way we want, but as long as they love us in the best way they can, that's enough. For me, love is a very magical thing. It can make me happy, miserable, hateful, grateful, joyful, sorrowful. All emotions are wrapped up in love. I've looked into Buddhism a bit, and Buddhism suggests that love is suffering in disguise. Love can make people better and enrich them, but if taken to an extreme, it can cause suffering and attachment. That's why Buddhism has the Eightfold Path, to help people reduce some of their suffering and attachment. As I said, I find love to be both magical and abstract, difficult to define. And something like that, I think, for a young person like me, with very little life experience, is very hard to fully understand. So I have to lean on something bigger, broader: the philosophy of love and the psychology of love. From what I've researched, there are many concepts of love. The first concept of love suggests that love is what enriches us and helps us complete ourselves. Love is the longing to find a soulmate, a missing half, someone who makes us whole. This also connects a bit to psychology. There's a school of psychology by Jung, an ancient psychologist. He had a concept called the collective unconscious. Simply put, the collective unconscious is the deepest layer of the mind, a separate part, hence unconscious, and it's entirely inherited genetically, unaffected by any personal experience. That means when we're born, we already have that collective unconscious within us. The collective unconscious is most clearly manifested in fairy tales. Fairy tales are stories passed down from generation to generation, containing many messages and aspects of humanity's unconscious, the collective unconscious. In all these fairy tales, the concept of love is always about people searching for their missing half. For example, there's a myth that humans were originally born with 2 heads, 4 arms, and 4 legs, and they angered Zeus, who then split them into 2. Throughout their lives, these people would search for their other half to complete themselves. Then there's the mythological story of humanity's origin, where Eve was created from Adam's rib. And in fairy tales, there's often the motif of a sleeping princess under a curse, needing a prince to break it. The common thread in these fairy tales and myths is that humans always need to seek a missing part of themselves, always need to find their other half. In poems, songs, and verses, you hear things like, "You are the last piece I was missing." So, through these collective unconscious elements in humans, we see that the first concept of love posits that humans always yearn to find their soulmate and someone who makes them whole. The second concept of love is from a philosopher. I think he was British and a Nobel laureate. He believed that love is merely an escape from loneliness, and that love is just something made up by desire. Love is a trick to deceive humans into continuing to procreate and sustain the next generation. Because humans are a type of animal that believes itself to be the dominant species, ruling over all others, they must be more special than other animals. If there were only desire and no love, it would be too cold and inhuman. So, love is a deception to trick humans into believing that sex must always be accompanied by love, and that without love, sex would not be satisfying. So, this concept argues that love is actually just for the purpose of fulfilling desire and maintaining the next generation. And the third concept, by Beauvoir, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, a French philosopher, suggests that love is what makes people more complete and enriched. I really like her ideas because she doesn't delve into why we love or what asterisk love is. She doesn't try to define it. Instead, her focus is on how to have a better romantic relationship. I think this would make for a very long discussion, so I'll save it for part 2. For this part, I'll just keep rambling about random things. Anyway, talking about philosophy can be a bit of a headache. Ultimately, people just love, don't they? How can you live without loving? There's a great saying, and we shall have to love for our hearts still beat. No matter what, humans always love and always need to be loved, so I don't think trying to define what love is too important. The other day, I watched a TED Talk that explained the stages of a relationship. After watching it, I was truly amazed. It was a real eye-opener, a mind-opener. So today, right now, I absolutely have to tell you about it. Basically, love is divided into several stages. In the first stage, the beginning of a relationship, we constantly dream about that person, even becoming obsessed with them, and wishing for as much time as possible to be with them. This stage is called the passionate love stage. You're constantly in a state of euphoria, feeling like you could explode. Your brain releases many chemicals that make you feel happy and euphoric, like eating sweets when you crave them or drinking water when you're thirsty. It's even as joyful as being on drugs, just purely ecstatic. This stage also releases a lot of dopamine, so you're always in a state of exhilaration, feeling like you can do anything, that you're the most talented and successful person in the world. It's an incredible feeling of validation. Dopamine is the hormone released when you win something or achieve something. So, in this initial stage of dating, a lot of dopamine is released, making us feel like we have a worthwhile life, full of joy and accomplishment. The first stage is the pink love stage. You see your loved one as absolutely perfect, without any flaws. Even if you do see a flaw, you find it adorable. Science says that people newly in love have reduced activity in the brain's cognitive centers, making it difficult to perceive problems accurately. But sadly, this process only lasts a few months. So, the pink love stage only lasts for the first few months of dating. After that pink love stage, also called passionate love comes stage 2, attachment love or companionate love . In this stage, the brain releases more bonding hormones that help us trust, confide in, and support each other more. One of these bonding hormones is oxytocin, a hormone that reduces stress and makes us happy. This hormone is released when we hug and get close to our loved ones. Don't you agree that the feeling of being hugged is wonderful? I once read somewhere that hugs were invented so you know someone loves you without them having to do anything else. I love the feeling of being embraced by someone and holding someone, feeling the warmth from their chest. You need affection to hug, right? A hug expresses so much. Because to be hugged means to be loved. And when I'm hugged, I feel like that person loves me and accepts me completely, with all my imperfections. They love my imperfections. That's why I love the feeling of being hugged. So back to stage 2, the companionate love ** stage. In this stage, there's no intense, fervent passion like in stage 1, but there's a deep bond. It feels very comfortable. Often, just being next to each other all day, even reading, feels joyful. This attachment stage, without the initial passion, means you start to see each other's flaws. A common breakup line is, "We're not compatible anymore." Many people will ask, "Well, why didn't you say you weren't compatible when you first started dating? Why only after a few months?" If explained from a scientific perspective, this is actually true. It's not an excuse. Because in the first stage, the passionate love stage, as I mentioned, the brain releases so many hormones that people are constantly in a state of euphoria. During this stage, everything looks rosy, and those newly in love have reduced activity in their brain's cognitive centers, so they don't see any flaws in their partner. After a few months, once that pink love stage passes and you enter the attachment love stage and start seeing each other's flaws, there will be arguments and feedback. And if both parties try to harmonize but can't, if they simply can't get along, then they'll have to break up. I've talked to you all about many things just now, but I think whatever love is, it can make us suffer, and it can also make us happy. And no matter what, I know I will always continue to fall in love. There's a beautiful saying, "And we shall have to love, for our hearts still beat." No matter what, we will always love. So have faith in love, and believe that one day you will find a suitable person, someone who loves you and you love them, and both of you will learn how to love correctly, how to build a wonderful love. And I just want to say, you are loved. Perhaps you are loved by someone who kisses you every time you meet. That's wonderful, isn't it? But even if no one is kissing you, you are still loved. Just open your heart and love will find you. Love comes in countless forms. When your mother cooks you a delicious meal, that is love. When your best friend writes you a note to excuse you from class, that is love. When your dog wags its tail every time you come home, that is love. And I just want to say, you are loved and you always will be. This podcast episode has been quite long, and I'll see you all in part 2, the next part. Thank you for listening. Goodbye and see you soon.